जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय। श्री श्री सुदर्शन भगवान की जय। श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 7th Canto, 9th Chapter, text number 43. Naivodvije para duratyaya vaitaranya. Naivodvije para duratyaya vaitaranya. Tvad वीर्य गायना महामृता मग्नचित्तः। त्वद्वीर्य गायन महामृत मग्नचित्तः। शोचे ततो विमुख चेतसा इंद्रियार्थ। शोचे ततो विमुख चेतस इंद्रियार्थ। माया सुखाय भरम उद्वहतो विमूढ़ा। माया सुखाय भरमुद्वहतो विमूढ़ा। नैवोद्विजे परदुरत्यय वैतरण्या। तद्वीर्य गायन महामृत मग्न चित्तः। शोचे ततो विमुख चेतस इंद्रियार्थ। माया सुखाय भरमुद्वहतो विमूढ़ा। नैवोद्विजे परदुरत्यय वैतरण्या। त्वद्वीर्यगाय नमः अमृतमग्नचित्तः शोचे ततो विमुखचेतस इन्द्रियार्थः माया सुखाय भरमुद्वहतो विमूढा
नैवोद्विजे परदुरतया वैतरण्या
नैवोद्विजे परदुरत्यय वैतरण्या
वीर्यगाय नमः अमृतमग्नचित्तः
त्वद्वीर्यगाय नमः अमृतमग्नचित्तः
शोचे ततो विमुखचेतसा इन्द्रियार्थः
शोचे ततो विमुखचेतसा इन्द्रियार्थः
माया सुखाय भरमुद्वहतो विमूढा
माया सुखाय भरमुद्वहतो विमूढा नैवोद्विजे परदुरत्यय वैतरण्या त्वद्वीर्यगाय नमः अमृतमग्नचित्तः शोचे ततो विमुखचेतस इन्द्रियार्थः माया सुखाय भरमुद्वहतो विमूढा न not eva certainly udvije I am disturbed or afraid para O supreme duratyaya insurmountable or very difficult to cross vaitaranya of the Vaitarani the river of the material world Twadvirya of your Lordship's glories and activities. Gayana from chanting or distributing. Maha Amrita in the great ocean of nectarian spiritual bliss. Magna Chittaha whose consciousness is absorbed. Shoche I am simply lamenting. Tataha from that. Vimukha Chetasaha the fools and rascals who are bereft of Krishna consciousness. Indriya Artha in sense gratification. Maya Sukhaya for temporary illusory happiness. Bharam the false burden or responsibility of maintaining one's family, society and nation, and elaborate arrangements for that purpose. Udvahataha who are lifting by making grand plans for this arrangement. Vimudhan although all of them are nothing but fools and rascals. I am thinking of them also. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. O best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. Please repeat. O best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence. For wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. Purport. Throughout the entire world, everyone is making big plans to adjust the miseries of the material world. And this is true at present, in the past, and in the future. Nonetheless, although they make elaborate political, social, and cultural plans, they have all been described herein as vimudha, fools. The material world has been described in Bhagavad Gita as dukkhalayam ashashvatam, temporary and miserable. But these fools are trying to turn the material world into sukhalayam, a place of happiness, not knowing how everything acts by the arrangement of the material nature, which works in our own way. Prakritehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankar vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by nature. There is a plan for material nature, personally known as Durga, to punish the demons. Although the asuras, the godless demons, struggle for existence, they are directly attacked by the goddess Durga, who is well equipped with 10 hands with different types of weapons to punish them. She is carried by her lion carrier, for the modes of passion and ignorance. Everyone struggles very hard to fight through the modes of passion and ignorance and conquer material nature, but at the end, everyone is vanquished by nature's laws. There is a river known as Vaitarani between the material and spiritual worlds, and one must cross this river to reach the other side, or the spiritual world. This is an extremely difficult task, as the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Devi Hiesha Gunamayi Mam Maya Duratyaya. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. The same word Duratyaya, meaning very difficult, is used here. Therefore, one cannot surpass the stringent laws of material nature except by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Nonetheless, although all materialists are baffled in their plans, they try again and again to become happy in this material world. Therefore, they have been described as vimudha, first-class fools. As for Prahlāda Mahārāja, he was not at all unhappy, for although he was in the material world, he was full of Krishna consciousness. Those who are Krishna conscious trying to serve the Lord are not unhappy, whereas one who has no assets in Krishna consciousness and is struggling for existence is not only foolish, but extremely unhappy also. Prahlāda Mahārāja was happy and unhappy simultaneously. He felt happiness and transcendental bliss because of his being Krishna conscious, yet he felt great unhappiness for the fools and rascals who make elaborate plans to be happy in this material world. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is a very important verse which is quoted many times by Srila Prabhupada. The first word of this verse is Naevo Dvije. Udvije means disturbed or agitated. So Srila Prabhupada, as he has very nicely explained in the purport, that everyone is working very, very hard in this material world. Bharam udvahata. Bharam means load. Udvahata means to lift. Everyone is lifting great load in this material world. When you lift great load, there is pain. So all this pain is because we are lifting great load, heavy load, so much burden. So when you lift load, it is natural you will have stress. So why there is so much burden? Yes, we all have burden. So much burden. But for what this burden? So here it is explained by Prahlāda Mahārāja, Maya Sukhaya. Sukh means happiness. Maya means illusion. To enjoy illusory happiness. So in order to enjoy illusory happiness, what a person has to do here? Take great load of maintaining, as it is explained nicely, maintaining one's family, society and country. Actually, there is no family and no society. This is all illusion. Illusion of this external body. But if one wants to enjoy Maya Sukhaya, happiness which is temporary and illusory. So it is false, and this false happiness also does not continue. It is temporary. It is illusory and temporary. And if one wants to enjoy this illusory and temporary Maya Sukhaya, this happiness, then one has to take the load of maintaining one's family, society and country. And a person thinks, if I take this load, then what will happen? I'll become very, very happy. So these people have been thinking for many, many centuries and generations. Yugas have passed, centuries have passed, millenniums have passed, generations have passed. For generations, people have been thinking the very same thing, that I will become happy. From 1,000 generations, we have been thinking, I am not happy. Let me make my children happy. In this way, they are making elaborate plans, 5-year, 10-year, 100-year plans. Some people want to earn for 7 generations. They'll be happy. But nobody has been happy in the past, in the present, nor is it possible to be happy in the future. Why it is not possible? Because they are going against the design of this world. What is the design? Design is Dukhalayam. Krishna has made this world as abode of miseries. So how we can change the design of God? When God has designed something to be miserable, how we can make that place happy? It is not possible. But we think that this position is better. So a person was taken to hell. But this person has got maybe some good credits. He was given the liberty. You see, all these various cells are there. Whichever cell you want, we'll put you into that cell. You have liberty to choose. So he went to the first cell, and then he saw it was very horrible. The man was tied with his hands and legs, tightly tied to iron chains, and then various animals, they were plucking flesh out of its body. Next cell, they were being tied to the walls, and then they were beaten very, very badly with sharp hunters, which was having many, many spikes. They were bleeding profusely. Third cell, the punishment was they have to drink molten lava. Very horrible. He got scared. Which one should I choose? And then he went to a cell. It was completely filled with stool. Till waist. Completely filled with stool. But people were sitting there and drinking coffee. So he thought, this is okay. And let me choose this one.
Chodo, I want to go into this one. So he went inside. So as soon as he went inside, immediately the Yamdutas came. They told, come on, tea break is over, on your heads now. So in this way we think, some situation is better in this material world. We see only the tea break. This is okay. Anyway, I have to become old. Let me become old in a good house with handsome husband or beautiful wife, Western educated children. Then I'll be happy. No. So happiness is not the part of design of this material world. So why the material world is designed in such a way that we are not happy? So Prabhupada is further explaining in the purport, because the material nature has been given the task of punishing the asuras. Asura means those who break the laws of nature. There is an entire chapter which is dedicated in Bhagavad Gita, the divine and the demoniac natures, because we should inculcate divine nature, avoid demoniac nature. Idam adya maya labdham, idam prapsya manoratham. This much I have attained today, I have earned today, tomorrow I'll earn even more. And I'll do some charity, in this way I'll be happy. This is the thinking of Asura. Today I've killed my enemy, defeated my enemy, tomorrow I'll kill him also. So in this way Asuras are always planning. So those people who are Asuras, they will be punished, those who break the laws of nature. So on one hand we are maintaining big slaughterhouses, and then we want to have very nice councils for maintaining peace in the world. How is it possible? It's not possible. We want to avoid natural calamities. We can have disaster management systems, education, NDRF relief teams and everything. But if we are maintaining slaughterhouses, killing poor animals for no reason, then we will be killed in the same fashion. Prabhupada gave very vivid example that in US you have best of the roads, best of the cars. In India, people tell accident happens because roads are not properly maintained. But in America, you have best maintained roads of the world, roads like velvet, Prabhupada would tell. Cars drive very, very fast. And you have best traffic management system, best police, all the arrangements are nice. Any difficulty is there, immediately in 5 minutes, police will come, ambulance will come, all facilities are there. They have the best cars, very, very safe cars. But despite that, they are one of the top countries in terms of road accidents. Why? Because Prabhupada tells you are maintaining slaughterhouses. So if you kill poor animals for no reason, you will also have to face similar fate. In accident, situation is similar to the animal of slaughterhouse. So thus karma will come. They are also living entities. If we give trouble to other living entities, where is the possibility of having peace? So thus asuras cannot be happy here. So that is why Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling, one who does not understand the design of this world, that this world is meant for punishment given to the living entities, breaks the laws of nature, still maintains this false burden to become happy. They are called vimudhas. What is vimudha? Special fool. Prabhupada translates first class fool. So an intelligent person, he understands simply by hearing. So some people ask that you are brahmachari, and why you are telling that this life is best? You have not seen the other side. I met my college mate after almost 12 years, 13 years. So he was asking me that, you did not see the other side in college. Hardly we could enjoy anything. Now life is different. We have so much money, so much this thing. So how can you tell that this your life, what you have taken, this path is the best? At least you should have tried this thing. So yes, some people tell that. So that is why Prabhupada tells first class intelligence is you hear and understand. You need not try.
So there is second class intelligence. They want to try and understand. That is called grahasthashram. So you want to practically see, then go. Then you will realize. So that is called second class. And what is third class? Third class, he will keep on committing same mistake life after life. He will never understand. They are called vimudha. First class fools. Second class fool will commit mistake, personally try, and then he will realize. One who is not fool, simply by hearing he will understand. But those who are vimudhas, they'll keep on committing same mistake life after life, still they will not realize. So one cannot understand that best governments have come. So many patriotic leaders have come. They could not make the country happy. But now I will be happy. How is it possible? For centuries, people have been trying. Nobody has been happy, but I'll be happy now. I can see that the distress is increasing by my efforts, but still I hope to be happy. This is called vimudha, first class fool. So why these vimudhas are very, very frustrated? Because they want to change the design. So thus we have to understand this is not the solution. We cannot change the design. We aspire to become happy, and then when our plans are frustrated, we become udvijay, we become disturbed, we become agitated, afraid, very, very fearful. But there is a class of people who are not disturbed even in this material world. And that is what Prahlāda Mahārāja is explaining. So Prahlāda Mahārāja, Krishna, that is why sometimes he gives great trouble to his devotees to show that, see, despite all the troubles, my devotee is not at all disturbed. So today we get disturbed in small things. Somebody did not reciprocate my feelings. I am working so hard, and they tell what you have done for us. People don't recognize my contribution, my hard work. People are so ungrateful, I become disturbed. Somebody told this thing I could not tolerate, I became disturbed. Some health reasons, some little disorder, we become very disturbed very easily. But here we see Prahlāda Mahārāja. He faced the greatest disturbance that anybody has faced in the history of the world. Great many cruel people have come, and they are subjected to people to various kinds of tortures. But Prahlāda Mahārāja's kind of torture nobody has faced in the history of the world. He's a small boy, 5-year-old boy. And the 5-year-old boy was put to rigorous troubles. So many weapons were thrown at him to harm him. Just imagine, small 5-year-old boy, can you throw a weapon at such a boy? So many weapons were thrown. He was thrown off the mountain cliff. He was put under the foot of elephant. He was made to sit entire night in the hailstorm. And then he was thrown in a pit full of snakes, very, very venomous snakes. And what to speak of all these things? Mother was forced to give poison. So what is the situation of a small child, 5-year-old boy? Is dependent on father and mother. He has no other means. So father is trying to kill and mother is also giving poison. So how helpless, how pathetic is the situation when your mother and father are trying to kill you day in and day out. So we can tell that it is a very horrible situation. It's a very horrible situation. But Prahlāda Mahārāja is not at all disturbed. Why is not at all disturbed? What is causing him great happiness? So this is very important. Krishna consciousness. So when Krishna is describing in 12th chapter, who is dear to me? So in 12th chapter, verse number 5, again the same verse comes. The same word comes, Udvijay. So of the many qualities which a person should possess to become dear to Krishna, one of the qualities, Yasma no dvijate loko, loka no dvijate chayaha. Harsha marsha bhayo dvega, yo mad bhakta same priyaha. Yasma no dvijate loko. Such a person should not become disturbed by anybody. So Prabhupada very nicely translates. explains in the purport. A few of the devotees' qualifications are further being described. No one is put into difficulty, anxiety, fearfulness, or dissatisfaction by such a devotee. He for whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anxiety, who is steady in happiness and distress, is very, very dear to me. So Prabhupada is writing, few of the qualifications of devotees are Yasma na dvijate loko. General people, anybody in this world cannot disturb a devotee, cannot put a devotee into fearfulness, anxiety. He's completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness, not at all disturbed. So that sometimes when we become disturbed, Prabhupada explains. So usually we attribute this disturbance to other people, that because of the other people I am not happy. So Prabhupada, so this is very, very important for all of us. So Prabhupada explains, one mistake of judgment often made by the neophyte devotees is that anytime there is some disturbance or some difficulty, they are considering that the conditions or the external circumstances under which the difficulty took place are the cause of the difficulty itself. So Prabhupada is writing, mistake of judgment often made by whom? Neophyte devotees. Neophyte means who are just in the first few steps of devotional life. So the neophyte devotees, when they are disturbed, one mistake of judgment they make. When we are disturbed, we try to judge it. Why am I disturbed, right? Like materialists, they calculate, why am I disturbed? Because I am not having money, car, house, security, loving relatives, nice country, nice systems, gadgets. They calculate like this, judgment. So often mistake by the neophyte devotees is that anytime there is some disturbance or difficulty, they are considering the conditions or external circumstances under which the difficulty took place, the cause of difficulty. The conditions or the circumstance in which difficulty took place, we think these circumstances, these conditions are the cause of my difficulty. That is not the fact. In this material world, why it is not fact? Why Britishers were not the cause of our difficulty? Why Mughals were not the cause of our difficulty? They gave so much trouble to people. No, they are never the cause of difficulty. Why bad government is not the cause of difficulty? No, it is not the cause of difficulty. Prabhupada is writing, in this material world, there is always some difficulty, no matter in this situation or that situation. In this material world, there is always difficulty because it is dukhalayam. In the rainy season, wherever you go, it will rain. You should not think in Bombay it is bad, it rains. You go to Pune, there also it will rain. Because it is rainy season. Everywhere it will rain. So one should not think the city is bad. It is raining here. So similarly, one should not think that I am suffering because of some people around us. The situation around us. No, the situation in material world is always full of distress. So wherever we go, we would face distress. So Prabhupada writes, in this material world, there is always some difficulty, no matter in this situation or that situation. Therefore, simply by changing my status of occupation or my status of life, that will not help anything. People are trying to change occupation. India was living in villages. Agriculture was the main occupation. But people have tried to change the occupation. Everywhere people are migrating to cities. And has that made them happy? More distress. Prabhupada is writing very clearly here. Therefore, simply by changing my status of occupation or status of life, improving the status of life, does it make people more happy? So that famous billionaire of China. So he had wealth of how much? $12 billion or $120 billion something. Yes? So he tells, he was, I think, teacher before. So when I was earning $12 or $120, I was much more happier than what I am now earning these many billions of dollars. So he's telling, when my income was 0.01% of what I'm earning today, I was more happy. So if you think it will make you happy, that is not fact. So simply changing one situation, that is what all of us are doing. We are carrying this great load to change our status of life, situation of life, and we think that I'll become happy. That is not going to happen. Prabhupada writes, that will not help anything. Because the real fact is that, so often we complain of difficulty with others. So Prabhupada writes, because this devotee was also complaining in the same way, that this person is creating difficulty for me. So Prabhupada writes, the real fact is that if there is any difficulty with others, that is my lack of Krishna consciousness, not theirs. Is that clear? So when we live in folk residency, sometimes we tell Prabhu, these devotees are not good here. This particular devotee is not good. It does not talk nicely. It does not know how to behave nicely. So therefore, I am leaving residency. It's just like telling my roommate is not studying. He's failing in exam. I will also fail in exam. He does not study. I will also fail. So Prabhupada, simply because somebody is not able to behave nicely, why you want to give up your career in Krishna consciousness? If he doesn't behave, he will suffer in his career, in his spiritual life. Why you want to give up your career? Your career depends on how well you behave. Other person is not behaving nicely. You behave nicely. You will advance. Why you also want to behave badly or you want to leave? So we have to understand this very, very important point. So as a devotees also, we face this thing when we are neophytes in the very beginning. Often, this is one of the frequently asked questions. Devotees ask, Prabhu, please tell us how to manage our parents. They don't let us follow Krishna consciousness. They create difficulties or they are not good. No, it is not the fact. The fact is I am not Krishna conscious. So always the devotees ask this question, how to make the parents understand? I told parents need not understand. You have to understand Krishna consciousness. Because we don't understand, our parents also sometimes, same thing. Parents also ask, how to make children understand? They are not understanding. So Dhir Gopal Prabhu deals with parents, I deal with children. But the solution is same. So once a Mataji was there, she approached Prabhupada and she explained some problem. And then she went away. So Prabhupada then clarified, other Mataji devotee, what was she telling? So Prabhupada could not understand exactly because it was I'll explain on some other forum. It was something which is not expected, such kind of behavior. But Western countries are so fallen. So Prabhupada could not exactly think that this is the situation here. So then Prabhupada asked her, what was the situation? She explained this. Oh, my God. With men, this problem is there, but women, it never happens. But Prabhupada gave the solution. So you chant 16 rounds, read the books nicely, do DT. The solution is same, whatever is the problem. You need not understand. So thus Prabhupada is telling solution is, I am not suffering because of lack of, I think, parents are not Krishna conscious or the children are not Krishna conscious. So I am disturbed. No, I am disturbed because of lack of my Krishna consciousness. That's it. Simply I need to understand. World does not need to understand. That is why Krishna tells in 12th chapter 5th verse, devotee means he is not disturbed by anybody. And so we were also discussing some time back. Because we keep on this, we have to, Prabhupada tell this is a hospital, this our movement. And we all are getting treatment. So we have to regularly see what is the fever of the patient, whether he's getting cured or what is the situation. So we're discussing about some devotees, how well they are doing in Krishna consciousness, rating 1 to 5. So how is he doing? Devotee told, Prabhu, this is 3. This is 2. This devotee, 5. This devotee, this is unique. What is unique? He is 5, but anyone who comes close to him, he becomes 1. He is happy, he is blissful. But one who deals with him, he will come under stress. I told, why? Bro, whatever service you tell me, he'll forget. How many times you told him, he'll forget? He will not do something else. And he has been bliss. One who gives them service, he comes and stress. So this is also not devotee, Prabhupada. So thus Krishna tells he is not disturbed by others and he also does not disturb others. Both things are required. So Prabhupada explains, because devotee is very kind, very compassionate. So he also thinks, why should I disturb others unnecessarily? So devotee is not disturbed by others, as well as devotee is also not the cause of anxiety, trouble and fearfulness for others. Nobody is put into disturbance by the devotee, and nobody can make the devotee come into disturbance. That is a devotee. So that is why we should see in our behavior how much I am undisturbed in my life. The more it means I am advancing on the spiritual platform. So that is why the Shudra means who gets disturbed at insignificant things. So those who are always disturbed, they are supposed to be Shudras. And one is not disturbed at all. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, he is called Brahmana. So the more we are undisturbed, we are moving towards Brahmana. The more we are disturbed, we move towards Shudra. So thus this is very, very important. Simple instructions, but very important. I don't become disturbed because of lack of others' Krishna consciousness. I become disturbed because of lack of my Krishna consciousness, because of Rajagun and Tamogun in the heart. That's it. If Rajagun and Tamogun are removed from the heart, then Durga will not attack me. Prabhupada mentions in the purport. Mother Durga, she rides on a lion. Lion represents mode of passion and ignorance. So material energy impacts us through passion and ignorance. So if we are freed from passion and ignorance, Rajas and Tamas, then we are always happy and undisturbed. So this is very, very important point. We simply need to improve our Krishna consciousness. Then we will always remain undisturbed. So the secret Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling here. So hardly you'll find a person who was undisturbed even in such great torture. Mother, father are trying to kill. Great deadly weapons are used. Snakes are thrown. Poison is being given, but still he is undisturbed. Emotionally, physically, he is not harmed at all. So how this situation is possible? We hardly see any person on this platform. So Prahlāda Mahārāja explains the secret here. Why am I not disturbed in this Bhava Vaitaranya? Because Naivo Duje Paraduratyaya Vaitaranyam Tvad Bire Gayan Mahamrita Magna Chitta, because I am experiencing great nectar. I am tasting great pleasure in my heart. From where do I get this great pleasure? Tvad Bire Gayan, because I am always constantly thinking of your pastimes, your activities. So because the devotee is always completely absorbed in thinking of the name, form, pastime, activities of Krishna, he is undisturbed. So Prahlāda Mahārāja has given the secret. Tvad Vire Gayan Mahamrita Magna Chitta. My chitta, my consciousness is completely absorbed in your thoughts and singing your glories. So this is the secret. If I want to remain undisturbed, I have to learn this art. How to always remain absorbed in singing of Krishna, in thinking of Krishna. Krishna's thoughts, Krishna's name, Krishna's form, his activities. So how do you attain this platform? It's a very simple process. We disturbed, I think, last year also in one of the classes. Again, we will try to understand this. So this is from Nectar of Instruction, purport of verse number 8. Srila Prabhupada is quoting Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. This is about how we can advance by chanting the holy name. So it is not a simple process. So very nicely here it is explained in this paragraph. Simply by the process of chanting and hearing, one gets elevated to this platform of Prahlāda Mahārāja. So Prabhupada quotes Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. In the neophyte stage, one should always engage in hearing Krishna Katha. So now please hear carefully. Very systematic process is being explained here. So in the neophyte stage, in which most of us are, what one should do? One should, please mark the words, always engage in hearing Krishna Katha. Shranvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha. Shranvatam. Always keep on hearing. Then what will happen? This is called Shravan Dasha, or the stage of hearing. This first stage of hearing, Shravan Dasha. How one should hear? Constantly, always. As much as possible throughout the day one should keep on hearing. Then Prabhupada again writes, first he has mentioned always engaged in hearing Krishna Katha. This stage is called Shravan Dasha. By constantly hearing, mark the words, constantly hearing. Hearing what? The transcendental holy name of Krishna. By constantly hearing the transcendental holy name of Krishna and hearing of his transcendental form, qualities and pastimes. So name, form, qualities and pastimes. One can attain to the stage of acceptance called Varan Dasha. Initially, we are not able to accept. Is this fact or fiction? Right? Is this true or not? So thus Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Ashraddhadhana munyaha, those who are not faithful on this path, aprapya mam nivartante mrityu sansara vartamani. They are always disturbed in this world. Those people who are not able to develop sufficient faith. A faithless person is always disturbed. So he is disturbed in this life, and what to speak of afterlife. He has to keep on coming back in the material world. This disturbance happens because of lack of faith. Ashraddhadana munyaha. Yogasyasya parantapaha. Those who are not able to put faith in these activities. So that is natural. If we are not very pious, Mahaprasade Govinde, Nam Brahmani Vaishnave Swalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasu Nayava Jayate. The faith is never aroused in the heart of those who are having not sufficient punyas, pious credits. They don't have faith in Mahaprasadam, in Krishna, in holy name, in Brahmanas, Vaishnavas. So holy name of Krishna, faith will not arouse. In the pastimes of Krishna, faith will not arouse. So an atheistic influencer, he gives logic. So as some people tell, devotees are telling that why you don't believe in Rama. You see, Ram Setu is there, Ayodhya is there. So the cities are still existing. So what is the doubt in the scriptures? So he gives very nice example. What example he gives? You see, it is just like Spider-Man. Spider-Man jumps in the streets of New York. So New York is fact, but Spider-Man is fiction. Similarly, Ayodhya is fact, but Rama is fiction. Oh, very nice logic. So why you are putting faith in the scriptures completely? Just like Marvel Comics tells, New York City, Spider-Man is there. So New York is fact, but Spider-Man is fiction. Similarly, Ayodhya, Ram Setu is fact, but Ram is fiction. So thus Krishna tells, if you want to become atheist, I will give you best logics from the heart, how to become atheist. But the atheists are not able to understand the simple facts. So yes, Rama may or may not be there because you have not seen. But this sense gratification is definitely miserable that you have seen. It is simply an addiction of life, what you are doing. If you are not worshipping Ram, then what you will do? You will do sense enjoyment. And sense enjoyment is definite misery. So why you are following this path? This is called madness. I understand I am not satisfied by sense enjoyment, attaining any situation in this world. In future also I will never be satisfied. Still I will follow the same path. This is called madness. Yes. And who is approving Ram? Thus Prabhupada tells authorities. In every case we depend on authority. I have not seen the existence of proton, neutron, electron also. How do I believe on that? Because authorities have told, some people of knowledge they have told, this is called wisdom. If I go to doctor, I believe in doctor, whatever medicine doctor is giving, I have faith on authority. I give power of attorney to my lawyer when I go to court because he is authority, he knows the laws. Thus, just for knowing mundane laws, we depend upon mundane lawyer. For knowing spiritual laws, we depend on spiritual authorities. And we see from the result also, just like if you go to doctor, why we put faith in doctor? Because people become cured. Similarly, anybody who surrenders to a spiritual master, he is able to live very, very happily, even under a tree. Even under a tree. If people lose little wealth छोड़ो, promotion नहीं होता है तो disturbance. एक हफ्ता दिमाग खराब रहता है. Promotion नहीं दिए. Very disturbed. थोड़े नंबर कम आ जाए, 96 से 95%, एक रैंक कम हो जाए, we get disturbed. प्रसाद में पोलियो ग्रे खत्म हो जाए, तो मुझको नहीं मिला, इन्होंने ले लिया. But you see the devotee situation, what to speak of losing little. Devotees lost everything. The devotees were living in huge houses, palatial houses in America. Some of the devotees, the brothers who joined, their house was 50-bedroom house in America. And from 50-bedroom house, they were living in village which was infested with rats, snakes and mosquitoes. Especially when it rains in Vrindavan, you see all insects, they come. Yeah, they've never seen such things in America. All unique species in rainy season. Very, very difficult. So what to speak of living in poverty, living in a place full of insects, rats and snakes. They would often get jaundice, not able to live nicely, but they completely became happy. So this is the proof that these are real authorities of knowledge. Little low-end people are able to, they are unable to sustain their lives. Here people are able to withdraw themselves from everything. They are living much below poverty line, not having anything, no bank account at all, what to speak of, no home at all. And what to speak of this? The same devotee who was having a 50-bedroom mansion in US, who came to live in village. Somebody challenged Prabhupada, here we all know Krishna, why you are making a show? Go to Pakistan if you want. So Prabhupada told, you are challenging us? Yes, we'll go. Immediately send. And these devotees went to Pakistan also, without caring. And you know, Americans in Pakistan and chanting Hare Krishna, deadly combination. The most hostile people in the country. And people are spitting on them, showing weapons to them. And that too, they landed up in a wartime, 71. The most wrong time to enter. But they are completely in bliss. So this is called Krishna consciousness. What to speak of losing something, even in the most adverse situations, devotees able to remain, they were jailed. What to speak of other things? If you go to jail, it is a very bad thing for us. So once the devotees were doing Sankirtan in Australia, I think it was Australia. So police were telling, you cannot do this Sankirtan. They arrested the devotees. And the devotees continued doing Sankirtan. They told, does not matter what we can do. Prabhupada has told Kirtan should not stop. So they kept on doing Sankirtan. Then put in jail. Now jail also they were doing Kirtan. And it was, so similar thing happened in Haridas Thakur's time also. Some people were jailed who were doing, they were criminals, they were put into jail. And then Haridas Thakur also was arrested for chanting. So when he went to jail, then all the people, they became very happy. Now great saint has come to us. Now we will get relief by having his darshan. They started begging that please pray for us. So Haridas Thakur prayed, may you always remain in jail. It is such a nice situation. Maya cannot touch you here. Very peacefully you can chant Hare Krishna. What are you telling? No, I will pray for you not being disturbed. Don't worry. Krishna will give you relief. Haridas Thakur told. So devotees are not at all disturbed. So So when these devotees were in jail, they were also chanting Hare Krishna. And then it was Sunday. So Sunday, there was a standard of having love feasts. So Sunday afternoon, that was the standard when Prabhupada started the movement. Unfortunately, here also we were doing Sunday love feast. But then everybody in IIT was sleeping. So nobody was able to come for the sessions. We have to wake them up, some of our volunteers, and then they will come out. It was very difficult. Then we have to change it to evening feast. So that some of the people can come up at least. So now we're doing the evening. So anyway, so it was Sunday love feast time. So Prabhupada told them the Sunday love feast is very, very important. This very, very powerful spiritual activity. In a group of devotees, the more the people are, the more powerful is the Sankirtan. So this Sankirtan in group, you should never miss. So so the leader was Vishnujan Swami. He was very good devotee. So he told, any Sunday feast you miss, you will go into Maya. Even one Sunday feast you should not miss. So then devotees told, now, but how can we do feast? How can we cook? How can we distribute? So then he told, no, there is a, we have read in Bhagavatam. In this Purana, the story is mentioned, there was a Brahmana. So it is mentioned when practically, externally, we are not able to serve Krishna by gross elements, then in the mind also we can serve. It has the same effect. So thus this Brahmana, in the mind, he cooked very nice dishes for Krishna. And then he offered to Krishna. And then in the mind, he was thinking, if it is too hot, because I cannot offer to Krishna, if it's too hot, then his finger got burnt. In the mind itself, his real finger got burnt. Then Krishna became very happy by his devotional service. Immediately he was called to Vaikuntha. So then they told, no problem. Now by Krishna's arrangement, we cannot practically cook for Krishna for distributing prasadam to devotees. In the mind, we will cook today. So all of them in the mind, they started rolling the chapatis, frying the puris. And all the policemen are scared. What these people are doing? They are doing unique activities, talking to invisible people, doing mad. The policemen got disturbed. And finally somebody told, now we have prepared prasadam, now you should distribute, give it to the policemen also. So they actually started offering, please eat this nice samosa. Policemen, they got scared. They released all of them. They got very scared. What these people are. So like this, devotees were persecuted in various ways. They were put into jail. In India, they were arrested. So because they were not able to digest why somebody would leave America to come to India and live in villages. There must be some plot. So they thought they are CIA. No, CIA was always after, because India was having close ties with Russia. They were coming and trying to investigate. So they told, now because we have tightened our security, CIA has come in the form of devotee by shaving heads. So these are CIAs. So they were arresting actually. And many leaders of the movement at that time, they spent time in jail. So if you go to jail, it will be a very disturbing situation for us. But devotees were in bliss, always happy. Prabhu, why you are going? I will go to jail. You serve Krishna nicely. Another devotee went to jail on somebody's behalf. So thus, Rama is not fiction, Krishna is not fiction. A belief in false personality cannot make you eternally happy or blissful. People are thinking, no, it is your mental concoction. You are thinking, my Rama will protect me, so you are happy. No. If it was just a matter of faith, false faith, that simply your mental concoction, oh, my Lord is there, I am so happy, then actually materialist should have been million times more happy, because devotee slowly builds his faith. But materialist is completely convinced, if I get money, I'll be happy. But they don't get happy. So if simply faith would have made you happy, then by money, every materialist should have become happy. So faith cannot keep you, it can keep little infatuation, some hallucination for some time, but cannot keep you lastingly happy. So if anything is keeping you eternally happy, it must be eternal fact. Everyone is convinced, if I marry this person, I'll be happy. But by most of, at least 50% of the cases, in Mumbai 45% of cases, people end up having divorce. Why? Even though they were fully convinced with this person I'll be happy, they were not happy. So if conviction simply makes us happy, we should have been happy by that person. We are convinced completely. We are completely convinced, right? That is why we have taken admission to IIT. IIT will make me happy. But it does not make. We are convinced. That is why we have gone through hell of 2-3 years of preparation. We are so much convinced it will make me happy. So if simply conviction in anything would have made us happy, everyone should have been happy. But no, conviction can give us some temporary happiness. But it cannot keep us eternally happy. So if somebody is being eternally happy by always thinking of Ram, Ram should be fact. And Ram must be completely spiritual. People have experimented thinking of various. We are always thinking of the person we love. But such a thinking does not make us happy. Entire life you keep on thinking the people about you love. That will not make you happy. Unless we think of Ram. Some people keep on thinking of their characters. Keep on thinking of Harry Potter, fictional character. Does not make them happy. So thinking of a person of this world or any fictional character cannot make us happy. Only one who has thought of Krishna has been happy. So this is called the result. So unless Krishna is reality, how it can bring eternal happiness to people? So much so that poison also does not affect the body. So thus this Spider-Man example is false. So ask that person, think of Spider-Man and then you live under a tree. You try to experience that bliss, try to show that without any material things. We'll simply think, oh, you chant Spider-Man, Spider-Man. You chant Spider-Man. And you just take restricted food. You can never take something which is not offered to Spider-Man. You take food which is offered to Spider-Man. You wear Spider-Man clothes. Always or wear simple clothes. I will not allow you any entertainment. You will not be allowed to marry. You cannot do sex. And then you show me, can you be happy? 1 month frustrate ho jayega. But devotees can do that. Chanting the names of Krishna, thinking of Krishna, worshipping Krishna. So this is the proof. Simple proof. But unless a person is having sufficient pious credits, one will not be able to develop faith. That is why here it is told one has to hear constantly. By constant purification, one develops sufficient punya so that he comes to second stage. And that stage is called Varana Dasha. One accepts, yes, this is fact. This is solid fact. Scriptures are fact, whatever is written. And one person develops such strong faith, then he is on second platform, Varana Dasha, stage of acceptance. And then what happens? When one attains this stage, he becomes attached to hearing of Krishna Katha. Initially, we have to force ourselves. No, hear Krishna's name, Krishna Katha, hear Bhagavatam class, read. One has to force. But when one comes to Varana Dasha, stage of acceptance, whatever is written is fact, then one becomes attached to hearing of Krishna Katha. Just like now we are attached to movies and mundane kathas. When one is able to chant in ecstasy, he attains the stage of Smarana-avastha. So when we become attached to Krishna Katha, when we chant, we will come in ecstasy. So when we come in stage of ecstasy by chanting, when we are attached, then ecstasy will come. Then what will happen? He attains the stage of Smarana-avastha, what Prahlāda Mahārāja is experiencing here. Always Magna Chitta, mind is completely Magna, completely absorbed in thinking of Krishna's name, form, activities. So this stage comes when we are able to chant in ecstasy. The stage of remembering. Now in this stage of remembering, there are 5 progressive levels. Recollection, absorption, meditation, constant remembrance and trance are the 5 items of progressive Krishna Smaran. So first stage is recollection. At first, remembrance of Krishna may be interrupted at intervals. If you are on Sattva Guna, we'll be able to sometimes think of Krishna. it will be broken, the remembrance. This is called stage of recollection. At first, remembrance of Krishna may be interrupted at intervals, but later, remembrance proceeds uninterrupted. When remembrance is uninterrupted, it becomes concentrated and is called meditation. When meditation expands and becomes constant, it is called anusmriti. So when a person does not forget at all, always there is constant remembrance. That is called meditation. Constant remembrance. And when this meditation itself expands, person is continuously absorbed. That is called anusmriti. When meditation expands and becomes constant, it is called anusmriti. By uninterrupted and unceasing anusmriti means deep absorption in Krishna, which is unceasing and uninterrupted. Initially, meditation may be interrupted. Sometimes I am able to absorb deeply, then I come out. Absorb deeply, then come out. When this absorption continues uninterrupted for a long time, by uninterrupted and unceasing anusmriti, one enters the stage of samadhi or spiritual trance. After smaran dasha or samadhi has fully developed, so when this samadhi, deep and constant absorption without any interruption, is fully developed, the soul comes to understand his constitutional position. At that time, he can perfectly and clearly understand his eternal relationship with Krishna. This is called Sampatti Dasha, the perfection of life. And the same thing has been explained by Shukdev Goswami. Yad angri abhidhyana samadhi dhautaya. Dhyan upashyanti tattvam atmana atma tattva. Who am I within this body? How much ever we discuss, the materialists discuss on this platform about reality, spiritual life, they cannot understand. Just like how much ever discussion we may have in dream, we can never understand about wakefulness. That in wakefulness, I have real people who are my family members, who are waiting to talk to me when I get up. I have got some real business. I am completely forgetful of all when I'm sleeping. In sleep, how much ever research I do in the dream, how much ever talks I do in the dream, how much ever rationalizing I do in the dream, can I understand about reality? No. Wakefulness is a different platform of life. The discussions and applying our brain in dream will never help us wake up. Similarly, how much ever we try to hear, discuss, apply our mind, we can never comprehend real wakefulness, spiritual life. So how do we wake up? By hearing sound. We come to this stage of wakefulness simply when we hear spiritual sound, we come to real awakening of spiritual life. So all this perfection, Atma Tattvam, Janati Tattvam, one who is always able to keep lotus feet of Krishna in the heart. Yad Angri Abhidhyana Samadhi Dhautaya. Angri means feet. Samadhi means constant absorption. When it happens on the lotus feet of Krishna, that is called Samadhi. And Dhautaya means cleansed. One's intelligence is completely cleansed by this constant absorption in lotus feet of Krishna. Then what happens? One is able to understand Krishna. Janati Tattvan Bhagavan Mahimno. Such a person understands who am I, who is God, what is my relationship with God. Then one's life becomes perfect. So thus, Prahlāda Mahārāja is giving the secret how one can remain undisturbed. So Prahlāda Mahārāja is given, and in the proportion we advance in our life, we also can experience. But all this process, it begins with hearing. What kind of hearing? Constant hearing, always hearing. So thus we should make this habit that always we are hearing. And hearing means reading, same thing. Reading means we are self-hearing. We are hearing our own self. So always keep a book with us. Whenever there is 5-minute time, try to read. Anywhere you are, try to read. Or nowadays we have nice, earlier audio playing was difficult. Now we have it in phones. We can anytime put the earplugs while we are traveling. Everyone travels to work. So while we are traveling to work, so we can very nicely hear. We are sitting in the bus, cab, car, train. We can simply hear very nicely. When we are having our meals, at least 2 meals everyone has. Standard is 3 or 4 maybe. Whenever I am having meal, let us try to hear. Does not matter, I am not able to capture everything. Something is going. Principle is always keep on hearing. We are doing exercise, we are cleaning, we are cooking. As much as possible, keep on hearing constantly. This is a practice in our temples also. Devotees always try to hear as much as possible. This is called stage of Shravana Dasha, constant hearing. Hearing. Our punya is increasing. We will come to Varana Dasha. We will be able to accept this as fact. And then stage of remembrance, Sampatti Dasha. Smaranavastha, then Sampatti Dasha, perfection of life. Then we are undisturbed. So thus we should not waste time here and there in this material world trying to change the status for life, trying to artificially change the situation. It has not made anyone happy. Carrying the burden, this is the only lamentation of Prahlāda Mahārāja. I am experiencing this nectar of your thoughts constantly, but I am still unhappy because of these other people, Vimudas, who are first-class fools, who are maintaining false burden of family, society, to enjoy temporary illusory happiness in this world. So thus happiness can only come by Krishna consciousness. So let us try to mold our life in such a way. Yes, we have to do something for maintenance, but don't overexert. Nothing can happen by that. So mornings and evenings should be completely dedicated for genuine Shravanam and Kirtanam. Then only throughout the day we'll be able to remember Krishna, think of Krishna. Morning and evening, no business. Completely absorbed in chanting and hearing very nicely. And then throughout the day also we'll be able to do it. So please try to practice it. Always keep Prabhupada lectures handy, Prabhupada audiobooks ready. Keep on hearing always, or physical book you can read. In this way, constantly, and nothing is there. Hare Krishna mantra is always there. Keep on chanting. Tongue should never be, if I am not hearing Prabhupada's audio, Prabhupada books, then Hare Krishna is always going on. I can always chant Hare Krishna mantra. The essence is 24 hours as much as possible. Shravanam should happen. Hearing should constantly be there. Then we'll advance next. Wall clock is not there. Okay. We'll finish here. Any questions? So the question is, we discussed about Varana Dasha. Varana Dasha means stage of acceptance. So does it mean that sometimes when we get, it is not that always we are doubtful. Doubts may come sometimes because we have not been brought up in this knowledge. So sometimes we get strong faith. Other times our faith shakes when we meet materialists or we break regulative principles. We offend the devotees. We bhoga outside. Then our faith shakes. So when our faith is shaken, but sometimes we get faith. So does it mean Varana Dasha sometimes we are attaining? No, that is not called Varana Dasha. Varana Dasha means one has completely accepted. Sometimes one may feel ecstasy also. Sometimes one will be able to meditate also. But that is not the stage. Stage means always one is on that platform. Yeah. So the question is how Prahlāda Mahārāja got to know this. Father was demon. He was surrounded by demons. So as it is explained, when Prahlāda Mahārāja was in the womb of his mother, then Narad Muni, who is the topmost spiritual master, he instructed Prahlāda Mahārāja. And it is told in the womb also child can hear. So great personalities like Shukdev Goswami, Prahlāda Mahārāja, they were able to hear. And even we know Abhimanyu also. So they were able to receive instructions from the womb itself. So this is how he got instructed.
There are some relative
Yes. Yes.
What would be the answer we can give that?
So the question is, the relatives are asking that Krishna consciousness is not meant for you. So you should leave Krishna consciousness and come here. So thus, and the question is what answer we can give to them. So as we discussed, no need to give answer to them. We need to give answers to ourselves. We have to be convinced. If a person is in love, suppose you fall in love with a girl, then will relatives say, you are not meant for her. Will you leave her? No question. I will leave you, sir. So we have to get clarity. So the question is, we have to leave. Actually, where is the question of holding or leaving? Holding or leaving, it's all in the mind, right? Where is the question of holding or leaving? Yeah.
I feel like
So don't listen, that's it. Let them keep on speaking. Yeah. Just like drunkards. How people are very fond of drinking here. Parents are telling ki, don't drink. Still they drink. They are very much attached to drinking. So thus we have to have clarity, and this clarity will come. Don't worry. Just follow very nicely. So as we discussed, those who follow Krishna consciousness, they are happy in every circumstance. And those don't follow. So you can ask, you can see the relatives only, are they happy? Okay, Krishna consciousness is not meant for me. Tell me what should I do? But you should guarantee that I'll be happy doing this. So nobody can guarantee like this. Any other question? Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah. 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 It goes into, but it goes to sleep. Yeah. Loudly. Yes. 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 So the question is, I want to attain this stage. So we are trying that when I chant and hear, I should become absorbed and then I should come in samadhi. But before samadhi, I go to sleep. Another samadhi happens every day. So why we are not able to do it? Why this is happening? So thus, it's a very nice question. So that is why if this is the process that I have to hear, and by hearing I will come to this platform, then let me sit and hear constantly, right? We'll just discuss very nicely. But this is not possible for us. That by simply hearing and chanting, we will come to this platform. Principle is this. If a person is constantly hearing, he'll come to that platform, but we cannot do that. We are not even fit for that. Shravan Dasha. Ideally, that is the principle. Yes, self-realization happens by chanting and hearing, nothing else. But we are not on that platform. Then what we are supposed to do? Serve the spiritual master very nicely. Because we have no taste. So we have to serve the spiritual master very nicely. So when we watch our favorite movie, do we feel sleepy? We watch our favorite cricket match. We don't feel sleepy. Why? Because there is taste in that. So similar taste has to be evoked in chanting and hearing of Krishna Katha and the holy name of Krishna. How do we get that taste? Shushusho Shraddhadanasya Vasudev Katha Ruchi Syat Mahasevaya Vipra Punya Tirth Nishevanat. Punya Tirth Nishevanat. One has to engage in service of a self-realized, pure devotee spiritual master. Then Vasudev Katha Ruchi will develop. This taste will come. That is why we have to work very, very hard and sacrifice. Pranayar Arther Dhiya Vacha, our life energy, our resources, our money, our intelligence, and our speech in the service of the spiritual master, in the service of Krishna. So when we work hard in that manner, then by mercy of Krishna and spiritual master, taste comes in Krishna Katha, and then I become completely absorbed. So very nice question. That is why we also don't chant and hear entire day. We work very hard in the service of Krishna. So thus this balance has to be there. So morning and evening I do completely. Daytime also I try to chant and hear as much as possible, but I engage myself in service of Krishna. And as I told previously, so brahmacharis can engage full time, or temple grahasthas can engage full time in service of Krishna. But most of us cannot do it. We do job outside. So the result of that job can be offered to Krishna. In this way, it is having the same effect. Then we'll have absorption. Online, any questions? Yes.
My disease.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm thinking to leave Krishna.
So we are not getting taste in Krishna consciousness is the question. So somebody is telling, because I am not getting taste, I am thinking of leaving Krishna consciousness. So we can leave, but we can see materialists, they are also not happy. In material life, there is immediate pleasure, but long-term misery. And spiritual life means immediately there is trouble, there is so-called pain, but long-term there is happiness. So we have to understand principle, understand science. As I explained, when I was interviewed by His Grace Amitabh Prabhu at time of joining, so I was following some other meditation and I was getting great pleasure in that. So whenever I would find time, I would just sit and do meditation. Immediately I was able to get absorbed and it was blissful. So that meditations also bring to a platform of bliss. You feel great peace and absorption. But chanting Hare Krishna was not giving that pleasure. Because this pleasure depends upon training your mind and body, training this machine. You control, regulate the airs within the body, you'll feel tremendous peace. Focus on the chakras and all this thing gives you so much of peace. But Krishna consciousness, you have to please Krishna. Krishna sees so many things. You should do your duty nicely, your sadhana nicely, don't break regulative principles, do sacrifice, something for Krishna. And then you don't offend the Vaishnavas, behave very nicely, don't get disturbed, don't disturb others. So many things Krishna sees. He's a person. So then Krishna, it takes time. There's a personal process. So I was not getting pleasure. So Prabhu asked me, so have you left that kriya, that sadhana? So I told, yes, Prabhu, I have left. So he told, why are you getting greater pleasure in chanting now? I told, no, Prabhu. Then why have you left? I told Prabhu, because I am convinced this is fact. So I am not here for pleasure. I am completely convinced that we are meant for giving pleasure to Krishna. And then whenever Krishna is pleased, he will give pleasure to us. I am convinced we should stop thinking of this business mentality. This is our disease. Actually, we are rogues of the highest order. We are so selfish. Always I am thinking my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. So I am not accusing you. I am accusing of everyone. All of us have this tendency. We are rogues in this material world. So thus, spiritual world is not meant for people who are thinking about themselves. That is why in material world, those who cannot understand, at least it is told, don't enjoy your money. Give up your money for others. Even in material life, if a person has to be happy and satisfied, one should work for others, sacrifice all his resources and everything for the service of others. People do not know this material secret also. If somebody is not interested in spiritual life, still one has to give up the results of activities for others. Otherwise, one's own resources and family members will become sources of great trouble. So a person is getting trained, at least start giving up this mentality. Work for others' pleasure. So we are so selfish, always thinking about my pleasure. From my family members, I want my pleasure, otherwise I will separate. Always my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. Krishna also my pleasure. If I am not getting pleasure in Krishna's service, I will leave Krishna's service. No. So now I should understand the science. What is fact? The fact is we are part and parcel of Krishna. If we serve Krishna, we will become happy. It is a fact. It may take time. If we take pill from a doctor, we don't get cured immediately. Even in modern education, we don't get job immediately. 22 years, 25 years, one has to slog. In spiritual life, I want in 2 days. So we had to have, so please don't lose faith like this. Take proper guidance and work very hard. Work hard one day, immediately you'll get pleasure. Work hard for the spiritual master. This is the secret. Tadiyanam samarchanam. Topmost worship is Krishna's worship. Higher than that is worship of his pure devotee. So work hard, little experiment. Work hard. Prabhupada told 1 week you follow this process very nicely and then you'll see the result. So immediately pleasure will come. So please take guidance of devotees where mistake is happening. Definitely pleasure will come. It is just, and even though it is not coming, Krishna tests sometimes. Like Narad Muni when he was meditating, then Krishna became invisible from the heart. He's trying to meditate in the same way, trying to do everything similar, but he's not getting that pleasure. He's not able to absorb. So Krishna told, I gave this glimpse so that you follow this path. But in this life, you're not eligible to experience that. You need great purification of the heart. In next life, you will be able to do so. So thus, we should not do business. I should simply give up this mentality now. I simply want to serve Krishna. Suppose somebody saves our life. Somebody raises us. We see sometimes some children are there who are adopted children. They become so obliged to their parents that I was not born to them. Still, they have taken such nice care of me. They bring from the orphanage and take care of their education. People become so obliged. They try to serve nicely. Somebody gives you a nice gift. You become obliged. And Krishna has given us everything. And are we not obliged? Out of this obligation, should we not serve him? He has given us everything. So thus, out of this obligation, I should try to serve Krishna and not expect anything. Then you see, very soon pleasure will come. So please do not lose this faith. Give up this business mentality. Let us work very hard to satisfy Krishna, even though it may take time.
I am donating 20% of my salary.
Okay.
If I want to donate 50%,
Yes.
my family won't follow.
Okay.
They become engaged.
Yes.
So kindly tell me, Prabhu, how I can give 50%.
Okay.
They are not serious in case.
Okay.
Finally, because of them, I am getting attached to it.
So the question is, as it is being mentioned in the scriptures many places, that majority of our wealth we should use for Krishna. That is called working for Krishna. But somebody is telling, I am able to give only 20%, not 50 because parents are not favorable. Then what should I do? So we can give 100%. And then parents will get shocked. And then you tell, okay, I'll give 50 only. Then they'll be... You told them, I'll become brahmachari. I'm going tomorrow temple. I am giving everything. I am joining also. Then they will tell, whatever you want, you do it from here only. Then they will have 50%. Then everything will be easy. So yeah, so we should have sympathy because they don't understand it is natural. They're thinking about your welfare. They're thinking that these people are brainwashing and do this thing. So if they think like this, you request them that, okay, I will not give to the organization if you do not have faith. You bring them to the devotees. Like some days ago, one of the Mataji, she's a good donor. She wanted to see our balance sheet. She thought that we are wasting money. So we showed our balance sheet, nothing to hide, where money is going. So anybody who is having any doubts, so you can see balance sheet. Still, if somebody objects, then you can request them, okay, I will not give to the organization. Can I spend money for Krishna? Nobody will object to that. At least I should not be selfish. That is got good upbringing. What is this upbringing? We are telling use everything for personal enjoyment. There is no limit to greed. So at least I will not give there. At least let me use myself. Okay, in our house, I will invite people every day. 20-30 people will give them prasadam. So that is very nice. I will publish books. I will distribute books. So, or I'll get a rented place and we'll get some people will follow Krishna consciousness here. In this way, I can use money on my own to spread Krishna consciousness. Need not give also. In this way, try to convince to them. So if you are spending on your own, that is also good. But the most important thing is get them in association of devotees. Without devotee association, anybody will have doubt. And Most importantly, we should be very sincere. Then Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart. Sometimes actually we are attached. So then we tell them on the plea of family members, Prabhu, my family, they eat onion garlic. What do? I also have to eat. My family forces me to eat outside, so I have to eat. What? No, actually I am attached. So I am blaming them. I also want to eat sometimes. So it could be for that reason. So I should be very, very sincere. I should not be attached. Then Krishna will guide. If I am sincere, Krishna will guide from the hearts of the people, from our heart, and we'll find right ways and means. Finish. One more. Okay, last question.
How to develop faith by preaching or in the needs of
The question is how to develop faith while preaching and how to develop faith in the names of the Lord. So we just discussed. Shravan Dasha, keep on hearing and do this hearing in association of devotees. If you go out of association, faith comes by association. We have been associating with materialists who have been telling us all this, right? What do they tell? कोचिंग में यही बोलते हैं ना, बस एक बार चले जाओ, एक बार IIT बॉम्बे चले जाओ, बस फिर आपका सब लाइफ सेट हो जाएगी. तो हम कन्विंस हो जाते हैं भाई. फिर उसके बाद कोई कन्विंस करता है कि इस कंपनी में चले जाओ, फिर ये परचेज कर लो, यहाँ से शादी कर लो, ये कर लो, वी विल बी हैप्पी. ऑल दिस वी हैव बीन एसोसिएटिंग विद मटीरियलिस्ट्स. इस कंट्री में शिफ्ट हो जाओ. So the faith is the result of association. So thus we should have devotee association. So keep on hearing constantly in association of devotees. Then faith will become strong. That is called Varana Dasha, second platform. So we'll finish here. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Chandra ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gaurang ki, Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.